We're continuing to walk through the Gospel of John, and today we arrive chapter 6, verses 22 to 59. This comes right after the feeding of the 5,000 and Jesus walking on water, two miracles that Christ has done, and he has a discussion with them, sort of confronts them, and says, you're following me for the wrong reasons here. You're much more married to your own needs and looking at me to provide food and excitement, as opposed to suggesting that he has a deeper purpose than that, and calling on us to sort of realize that we should not simply be looking to Jesus for immediate needs, but more being thankful for who he is and what he's done on a broad, cosmic, eternal scale. I am a little embarrassed to think of all the times that I have set my sights too low and been focused on my immediate needs as opposed to understanding who Jesus is and the broader agenda that he has. But you need to understand there's this interplay that goes throughout the Bible, really. And it's one of the ways all these storylines come together in Jesus, and they come together in this last week. Bread is a big metaphor, and here Jesus is claiming to be the bread of life. And there's a discussion, sort of allusions back to the manna that God had provided to the Jews when they are wandering in the desert for 40 days, that God sustains their physical needs. Manna is rained down from heaven. It's talked about in the book of Exodus, Psalm 78, other places. So Jesus references some of that as he is then he's just multiplied food and fed the people, the 5,000 that needed. He's multiplied bread. And now here he is claiming to be the bread of life. And he is saying that I am the bread that you eat and you never grow hungry, right? He's talking about a spiritual need, and he's calling on them to see that. And then, of course, when we get later in Holy Week, what we have is that Jesus then changes the Passover celebration, and he sort of swaps out the Passover lamb, and he uses bread, and he says, this bread is my body, which is given for you. And again, we've got so all these different ways, manna, multiplying the bread to feed the 5,000, Jesus being the bread of life, communion bread, all these things are pulling it together. Jesus is saying, I am the one that ultimately nourishes and sustains you and provides for you. He is the ultimate he is the ultimate one that meets our needs and fulfills us and sustains us. And we ought to look at him not simply for the ways, the quick meeting of our needs, but the much broader way in which he completes us. We were made for a relationship with God. We're only going to find satisfaction in God. Have a good day.